Hello again, Year 9. Right, okay, hopefully you got on okay with using the gradient and the intercept to find the equation of a line. Okay, what we're going to look at today is being able to find the equation of a line if we know 2 points, any 2 coordinates on the line, not necessarily the ones going through the origin. So you'll notice down the side here I've got a couple of steps, or 3 steps in fact, about how we can do this. Okay, this is a lot more complicated, so you might need to watch this video twice to fully understand it. I do recommend that you work through in your book getting the examples done together. Okay, so then it makes the exercise that you've got a little bit easier. Right, so we've got a straight line graph here, okay, and we want to find the equation of the line. So the first step we're going to do is to find the gradient, and as we said last lesson, it's the difference in height divided by the difference in width, or in this case the difference in the y's divided by the difference in the x's. So the first thing we want to do is that gradient. So remembering that all coordinates go x, y, so that's my x value and that's my y number. So the first thing I want is the difference in the y's. So how do I get from 2 to 8? Well, that's 6. Okay, so we're going to work out gradient first. Okay, so the difference between 2 to 8 is 6. Then we want the difference in the x's. So how do I get from -3 to 3? Okay, again, that's 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. So we know that the gradient is 1. Now, the next thing we've got to do is substitute in one set of the coordinates, either this one or this one, into y equals mx plus c. We now know the value of m because we've worked out the gradient. So let's put in y equals x, or let's put 1x, okay, plus c. Now, remember x, y is a coordinate. Let's pick the ones that, let's pick 3, 8 because they're both positive. So we can see here that y is 8, so let's put 8 down instead of y. And 1 lot of 3 is 3. Okay, so and then I've got to work out the value of c. Hopefully it's fairly straightforward. Then we can see the value of c is 5 because 3 add 5 makes 8. So now we've got the gradient with 1 and we've got the intercept as 5, so my final answer there will be y equals x plus 5. Okay, final answer. Okay, let's make that clear. Right, okay, let's try that again. Okay, so the next one. First thing we said was to find the gradient. So let's do this one down here. Sorry if it's a bit squished up. Right. So how do I get from 5 to -25? Well, that's -30. Okay. And then how do I get from -1 to 9? Well, that's going to be 10. So -30 divided by 10 is -3. Notice that we should know that it's a negative gradient because it's going this way. So we've done step 1. Then we go back to step 2, substitute in one set of coordinates. So I'm going to pick this one because they're smaller numbers. So I know that if I put in y equals mx plus c, I now know that m is worth -3. So y here is 5. We know m is -3. -3 times -1, my value of x will be 3. Okay, so 5 is 3 plus 2. So I know that c is worth 2. So now I've got my final answer. I know my gradient was -3. And I know it intersects at +2. So there's my final answer. I'll make that clear. Okay. Right. Now, we might not necessarily have, so for question 3, we might not necessarily have the line drawn, okay, but we can still do exactly the same thing. Let's first of all find the gradient. So how do I get from 5 to 11? I have to add 6. Okay, how do I get from 2 to 4? I have to add 2. Okay, so we know that the gradient is 3. So we know that it should be y equals mx plus c. We now know that m is 3. Right, we're going to substitute in a set of coordinates. So let's use 2, 5. It's the smaller of the numbers. So we know here y is worth 5. Okay, and x is worth 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. Now, for this to work, then we know that c, 6 and minus 1 makes 5. So c must be minus 1. So we know that the gradient is 3. And it cuts at minus 1, so my final answer will be y equals 3x minus 1. Okay, right, you've got plenty of those to practice. Once you've finished all your answers, then with your answers from lesson 1, so we're not doing 2 emails instead of 1, okay, what I would like you to do is email those to your teacher. Okay, good luck, goodbye.